So I'm curious, how is it that you came to be involved in this project? Because it's not something that the average freshly minted PhD physical chemist or analytical spectroscopist does.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting story, I think, for me. I don't think I took the most direct path to where I am today. I guess I could go over my background. So yeah, I did an undergraduate degree in chemistry, specializing in theoretical chemistry. So I was doing simulations of molecular structures. I then went on to do a PhD in what is known as plastic electronics. I was basically studying new kinds of materials, these semiconducting organic polymers that were being used to make kind of a next generation solar cells. And that's where I learned Raman spectroscopy, and that was kind of the primary tool of my PhD, was studying the way these organic molecules, these polymers and fullerene molecules interacted with each other, how they self-organize themselves into like solid films. I spent 3.5 years just studying that, and that's where I kind of really got my teeth into Raman, and I learned that I'm fascinated by the technique. The spectroscopy has always interested me. The interaction of light and matter and what they can tell you about them both it really appeals to me. So, technically I'm an astrobiologist now, but I never studied astronomy and I never studied biology. I am actually really a spectroscopist, and so, after I finished my PhD, I got in touch with Dr. Luther Beagle, who is the PI of Sherlock, and basically said, I see that you're hiring postdocs. Would you be interested in a Raman spectroscopist? Who I made some headway into doing quantitative Raman for these organic solar cell materials, and I wanted to see if I could apply that to the interpretation of deep UV Raman spectra from Mars, in the hope of possibly being able to more formally identify molecules from their spectra, or to deconvolute mixtures into their separate components. I submitted that proposal, and I got funded for what's known as a NASA postdoctoral fellowship. So I got very lucky, and I was able to come out to California and start my work, and they very kindly kept me on for an extra 1.5 years so far. So it's been a great process, and I think it is fundamentally it's the same challenges, right? It's understanding what's really going on with the technique. How is the light being injected into the sample by the instrument? How is that interacting with the molecules in the sample? How is that and producing light itself? And then how is that light getting back into the spectrometer to produce the spectrum you're seeing?